Hi everybody, welcome to our latest video. Pleased to be able to show you something a little bit different today, a little bit quirky. And she's recently arrived in part exchange with us. And here we have a Ducati Multistrada. So first generation Multistrada 1000 DS. Now DS stands for double spark. So this particular bike uses the tried and tested Ducati air and oil cooled V-twin, but this is the later generation, and you can see with the later generation you get the additional spark plug on the off side, and obviously you've got the same HT lead configuration on the right hand side. Now this particular bike is a 2003 53 plate. And she's covered under 8,000 miles. In fact 7,800. And other than some sort of light wear and tear as you would expect of a bike that's now 14 years old, this really is a whole lot of bike for the money. Now certainly looks wise she won't be to everyone's taste. I think when the Multistrada first came out, it came out to mixed reviews, but for those of you like me that actually enjoy something a bit different and a little bit quirky, the looks actually belie a bike that's actually really good fun to ride and quite versatile as well. Now when this bike first came into us, as I say, just arrived in part exchange. Basically the previous owner had bought the bike some 3 or 4 months ago and actually took it to Europe, did a couple of thousand miles over the mountain passes, etc. And basically enjoyed the bike so much, having moved on from sports bikes previously, that part exchanged it with us for a KTM 990 SMT Touring. And those of you that know the KTMs will know that that's in no way a slur on the Ducati Multistrada. It's basically a compliment to how good a bike the SMT is. Obviously considerably more powerful than this. So this Multistrada, as I say, uses the 1000cc air-cooled V-twin. Now that develops around about 85 horsepower, so it's not arm-wrenchingly fast like, you know, modern Multistradas that are pumping out 150, 160 brake horsepower. But I have to say, its performance exceeds its on-paper figures. So in short, it does feel like a much more powerful bike than 85 horsepower, and I guess that's probably from the sort of low down torque that you get from this air-cooled engine. It's classic Ducati basically, air-cooled engine with dry clutch, so you get that classic Ducati clutch rattle, which again won't suit everybody, but we happen to like it. So basically when she came in, these handguards were originally just black plastic, and as with all handguards they ended up with a few scuffs and scratches on the edges. So we've had these handguards beautifully colour coded by Bodytech in Heybridge, and at the same time the pannier covers also had the odd mark and chip and scratch, as panniers do, being on the extremities of the bike. So we've had both the pannier covers painted as well, and as I think you can probably see from the video, that the original paintwork for a 14-year-old bike really is lovely. You can see down on the front mudguard as well. I mean, there's no sort of significant chips or anything really to point to this bike being a 14-year-old bike, other than on the left hand side of the bike. And again, this is the Achilles heel of all Ducati air-cooled engines really. As you can see that there's some flaking on the left hand side engine case there, and also a bit of paint flaking off the back of the crankcase. I mean, that is something that can be addressed, but quite frankly, even though Mid-Essex Motorcycles is known for having pretty high standards, I think we all have to draw the line somewhere, and this bike I think already looks like remarkable value at 2,995. So it's never going to be a perfect bike because it's 14 years old, but I think there will be a whole load of not as nice examples out there. So you can also see we've got Termi exhausts on the back, which look really cool at the back with those panniers, and you've got a Givi rack there as well. So if you're a commuter and you need to take plenty of stuff to work, you know, what with the panniers and the ability to fit a top box, should make a really good value commuter, but also perfectly capable of taking two people in relative comfort quite some distance. You can see these nice padded seats. They're actually both Ducati Performance comfort seats, comfort gel seats. Pillion seat there, and the rider seat, so you can see that extra padding there. And she's also fitted with a carbon hugger. And we've just fitted a brand new Pirelli Diablo Strada to match the front. And that tyre has literally done about 3 miles just to scrub it in for the new owner. I'll do some more close-ups for you. Again, for a 14-year-old bike, and I don't want to labour the point, but I think most people would accept that this is a really nice condition bike. No significant chips or scratches, or without doubt no paint flaking off of the wheels or anything of that nature. Even the rear shock and the spring is in really nice condition. So we've got Brembo front brake calipers, and not sure if you'll be able to see from the video, but you can probably just make out that she's recently been fitted with brand new brake pads, front and rear. And prior to the previous owner taking delivery, as I say, certainly within the last 3 months or so, she's also undergone a major service, which included the obligatory Ducati cam belt change. So I'll just start her up for you. We'll see her go through a self-check, and you can see the mileage there at 7870. We'll just point out that you can see the spanner symbol illuminated there, which basically indicates that it's due a service. So we will of course carry out the intermediate service for its new owner. So that's basically what a Multistrada sounds like with the Termi exhaust. there you have that classic, somewhat noisy, but that's how they are, the dry Ducati clutch. So there you go, that's our Ducati Multistrada. And just to finish off, you can see that we've got a tinted taller screen, which is ideal for touring, and we do have the standard screen as well. So just to summarise, this is our 2003 53 plate Ducati Multistrada 1000 DS. She's covered 7,800 miles, recently undergone a major service including cam belts and an intermediate service by ourselves as well. Panniers, Termi exhausts, handguards and a tall screen, and this bike's available, unbelievably in my opinion, at $2,995. I hope you enjoyed the video.